a Florida man has screwed himself. And so it goes.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has now signed into law a bill that will create the single biggest property tax increase in history, 25%.
Hello again, you crazy rebels and TYT folks. It's Alonzo Bodden back again, and we're talking about Ron DeSantis and his Don't Say Gay law. Apparently, this law is costing money to the tune of $163 million, because that's how much Disney used to pay in taxes for their special exemptions and rules to run their own government in Disney World and related property.
Property taxes around Disney World are going to increase by 25%, thanks to Republican Governor Ron DeSantis.
Disney paid to run their own government, so if they wanted to put in a road, or if they wanted to put in a stop sign, or if they wanted to have a parade, whatever they wanted to do, they could do, because they paid extra in taxes. Well, that money's gone now because DeSantis and his boys are mad at Disney because Disney might say gay. So, looks like the property owners will have to make it up. $163 million. Property taxes could go up 20 to 25%. Wow, a Republican raising taxes. Wonder how they're going to blame this one on Biden. This is probably going to be called a woke tax, and they're paying extra so you can't stay asleep. I don't know, but you know they'll spin it.
Republicans in the Florida legislature and the Republican governor rushed a bill through the legislature that repeals the Disney special status in that area, which means they repealed Disney's obligation to pay $163 million a year.
Call me crazy, but if I was going to pass a law that would affect taxes, I'd check with the tax collector first. But the Republicans down in Florida didn't. And now the tax collector for that county says, hey, you're going to have to make up this money somehow. So we're looking at a 20 to 25% property tax increase. Wow. Hey, maybe this is their way of defunding the police. Or maybe, and listen, you're already banning books. Go ahead and close the public schools. Go to final step. That'll save you some tax money, right, Ron? Then you don't have to worry about the kids learning about gays because they won't have schools to go to. I'm really not sure what they were thinking. I don't think they were thinking when they did this. I do like O'Donnell's subtle digs at the Republicans.
Randy Fine thinks the Republican Florida legislature is a hornet's nest. He said, quote, "You kick the hornet's nest, things come up." Hornets are profoundly stupid creatures. And so Randy Fine's self-comparison to hornets could not be more apt.
They compare themselves to hornets, and hornets are profoundly stupid. I like that. He said Republicans did not know what they were doing when they passed the law. Well, I guess that is kind of obvious right now. But again, I'm looking for the spin. I'm waiting for the spin. There's no way DeSantis is going to take responsibility for raising people's property taxes 20 to 25%, especially when they can't write off that tax increase because Trump and his boys took away the property tax exemption. Why did they do that? They did that to screw us here in California because we pay a lot in interest and a lot in taxes, and he didn't want us to get a break. Now it's Florida. Sorry, Floridians. This is what you asked for.
Republican doctrine. The government taxation and regulation of businesses should not be based on economic theory, but should be based on how friendly and supportive and encouraging any individual business is to Republicans.
So when I look at this guy, Randy Fine, that explains a lot, because you couldn't look more like a Florida Republican than this guy. This guy has Florida Republican written all over him. And you better believe that he can't stand gays. And I'm pretty sure there's a strip club scandal somewhere in his past. Guaranteed. So they are willing to spend the constituents' money on this anti-gay law. They're proud of it. They're going to do it. But here's the thing. And you know, like I say, I like Lawrence O'Donnell's digs and his thing of DeSantis wants to be president and all that. But none of this matters. You know why? Because this is on MSNBC. And none of these Florida Republicans are watching MSNBC, nor do they care what MSNBC has to say. Now, I'm sure if you go over to Fox News, there's going to be some kind of story about how woke liberals force Republicans to raise taxes to keep schools open, or woke liberals are forcing taxpayers to pay for the gay agenda or something like that. I guarantee you, the headline over there, the lead story over there, is the complete opposite of this. And don't be bothered with the truth, because you have to blame this on Democrats somehow. I don't know how Joe Biden had time to raise taxes on this county in Florida when he's busy cutting off the supply chain and raising the price of gas all around the world. Man, for somebody completely ineffective, that Joe Biden stays busy, doesn't he? Guaranteed he's to blame.
Disney might have thought that by investing 10-1 in Donald Trump over Joe Biden, that as a corporation, they proved their Republican loyalty. But that's not good enough anymore. Now Republicans want corporations' money, and they want corporations to surrender freedom of speech.
So who knows how this is going to play out? Is it going to hurt the Republicans? Is it going to hurt Randy Fine? Is it going to hurt DeSantis? I doubt it, because Republican voters vote Republican, and they don't really care about the truth. No one votes against their own interests quicker than Republicans. Now, O'Donnell talked about businesses and businesses getting favors from Republicans based on their ideology being Republican as opposed to giving money. Well, yeah, it's always been the case. This isn't new. If you mention Jesus, if you're anti-gay, anti-contraception, anti-woman, anti-minority, anti-anything, the Republican Party will support you. Did Disney waste their $10 million? I don't think so, because they spent $10 million on Republicans and $1 million on the Democrats. But now look, they got a $163 million tax cut out of it. Disney's like, they're so dumb that even when they try to screw us, they're going to help us. So that's $10 million well invested by Disney. Good for you, Disney. Once again, a Florida man has screwed himself. And so it goes.